Welcome to Ars Electronica Home Delivery from the Ars Electronica Labs. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to have a look at something that's really cool technology on the verge of becoming part of our everyday lives. You see it already standing next to me, working its magic. We're going to have a look at 3D prints. The topic of this week is new materials. It's materials you can print or also grow at home. And in this case, I think everyone has seen a 3D printer already. Maybe some of you, or maybe even lots of you already, have such a machine at home as well. And for this segment, I want to show you what cool things we can do with a 3D printer with regard to the ongoing pandemic. So, what we have here in Ars Electronica are those face shields, which we printed during the very first weeks of the pandemic. We thought, what can we do with our equipment here to help people to breathe more easily, to have better protection against viruses and anything else that's currently on air, so to say. And with this, we came up with the idea, why not use our 3D printers to produce material that's sturdy, that's easy to produce, that's easy to handle, and easy to make. And this face shield I'm holding in my hand right now came out of this 3D printer in parts. So it's composed of 3 individual parts. So 2 parts that were made by the printer. As you see live next to me, it's the next mask coming out of the printer right now. Then we need some laminated film, which I'm also going to show you in a second how to make. And 2 very simple rubber bands. That's it. That's basically our face shield. And with this simple technology, we were able to provide kindergarten teachers, for example, with over 30 such shields to protect them in everyday life situations. And right now, we're currently making more. So this print is roughly 3 hours. And right now, we're in the middle of it. And it's going to take about 2 hours still, 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete. And as you can see here, it's pretty fast. It's printing layer by layer, as 3D printers used to do. And it will also produce, like I said, both pieces at once, so that saves some time. And the material we use are not the regular 3D printer material we know, the PLA. We have the PETG raw material, PET, you know, from your water bottles, for example. So it's a very sturdy material, but it's food safe, it's very durable, and also very light. And it's not that much more expensive to buy now. It has been out on the market for about 2 years, and it's better suited for face masks than PLA is, and it's not that much more expensive. So we're talking about like 30 euros per kilo, so one such roll of PETG material. So it's also a very cheap way to protect yourself from any danger. Right, so we have the first part now in progress. I want to show you how to make the second part as well. So maybe you don't have a 3D printer at home, but especially if you know someone who is a teacher or are a teacher, I'm pretty sure you have a laminator at home. Or you know someone where you can access a laminator. Sometimes in libraries that's possible, for example. And what you need is such a film of laminated foil. And it's very simple. We don't need to do anything in this stage with it except putting it in. So that's the first step. The laminator has already warmed up, otherwise it might take a while. And now we're going to wait for like 20 seconds or so, and then the foil that you see, it's not see-through before, so it would not be good for a face shield, will be see-through after this process. Very sturdy, but still bendable. That's exactly what we need for a face shield. And there it is. It's coming out already. Hope you can see this. Just going to take a while. Yeah, and as soon as this is done, we can go over to the next step, which you can either do manually by hand. It was a bit redundant, so let's get this out of here. Now you see, we have a perfect shield, but it's way too big. So what we do next is cutting, either with scissors at home, that's perfectly possible with this material, or here in Ars Electronica, we are equipped with a so-called laser cutter, which I'm going to turn on. It's going to be loud for just a short second because it needs a lot of cooling. And I've already prepared the file we need for cutting it with a CO2 laser cutter. So this sheet of foil I will put in a second as soon as it's warmed up. It will give me a signal. And then I will print this layout we already have, the file, as sort of like a blueprint for all the masks we produced. So now it should work. I'm going to open this. Closing it again, very important, because we don't want to look directly into the laser. And then it should start cutting right where you see the little red dot here. So the laser is starting its magic. It's much faster than doing it with scissors, and also more precise. Of course, the laser is very precise. So the red line you see on the screen here tells it exactly where to cut, how fast to cut, and how deep to cut. And especially for the inner circles here, the little holes, it's easier with a laser cutter, of course, than with scissors, because everyone knows it's not that easy to cut into a material that precisely. And it's almost done. Perfect. Another beep, so we know it's done. So I'm going to turn it off again because it's very loud, if I find the button. And then we're going to open it again. And already the part that's been cut already fell out of it because it was so precise. So now we have the newly printed face shield right here. And now we can strap in the parts previously printed from the 3D printer. So we have to go over here again. So, for the last part, you need a little bit of strength to get it in. Doesn't always work for me. There we go. And to stabilize it, of course, we also have the lower part. It takes a little bit of training to get it red every time, but it's not that hard. So we see a perfect face shield almost, and of course, to make it fit on your head, we have the classic rubber band, which I'm sure everyone has some at home. And it's ready for wear and go. So, you see, it's easy, simple to make, and quite cheap also. Taking it off again so that you can hear me better. And the files we have here also made it even easier, because for those of you who have experimented with 3D printers, you know you can design your own designs online or on special programs for the 3D printer. But here we have Prusa to thank for this design, the company who also designed the 3D printers themselves. So they came up with a very easy to make face shield, and the file was available almost at the very beginning of the pandemic, and as of now there have been over 200,000 downloads of this file, so people are really using this technology and embracing the simplicity of it. Yeah, that's basically it for this segment. So I hope you can make use of those face shields. Maybe you will even see us running around with them as soon as it's allowed to come back here, because we are not printing it just for fun. Of course, our employees use it as well for press conferences, for meetings, and so on. So maybe you will see us wearing those a lot. So I hope you, maybe if you have a 3D printer at home, give it a try. The Prusa has a very nice website, prusaprinter.org. Where you can find the design almost on top. So give it a try and have a nice afternoon. See you soon. Goodbye.